Welcome to Gotta Know Joe Hobbies here in Spring, Texas, for another quick video on how to fly on a budget. So, one of the big expenses on an airplane, especially when you start flying larger warbirds and especially 3D planes, is servos. And I just got another shipment in from a company that's been up and coming for a while. And I never endorse, I might suggest, but I never really endorse any companies. I pay full retail for this stuff. This company's been contacting me, wanting me to carry their stuff, and there again, Power HD is the name. And I wanted to show you this Servo and tell you a little bit about it. So, this is a brushless Servo. It's also the high voltage titanium gear, and this thing in 1/10 of a second will turn 60 degrees. And it's 291 ounces of torque in doing so with the 6-volt, and it gets up to 347 at 7.4, which that's your 2-cell lipo. And it comes in this real nice package. You can do this all for about 60 bucks. This is comparable to $140, $150 high-tech servo. Now, when they contacted me about carrying their stuff, and I say this, I don't know if it was really told to me in secret or not, but the guy said, look, man, where we probably are lacking is in quality control. So expect to have a bad servo out of a batch. And if you bench test them before you put them on your plane and stick them in the air, you're good to go. So I took his advice and I purchased a bunch of the LF13s. LF13s, I believe, is what they're called. This is the 20. Let's see if I've got one here to show you. Maybe I didn't get any 20s in this batch here. The LF20, this one will work on 4.8 to 6.6 volts, which that'll cover your life, 1, 2, 3 batteries. This is 0.18 seconds at 60 degrees, and operating voltage 4.8 to 6.6, 60 grams of weight, ball bearings, get 2 of them, DC motor, copper and aluminum gear type, size, standard size servo. Let me open this thing up here real quick and show you what you get for your money. These things cost about $14 to $20 depending on where you buy them. It's an aluminum plastic housing and metal gear. And this, the sister of this here, which was the LF13, the ones I started to tell you about, I had in a stick, and I had radio failure and it fell in the water. Floated for 45 minutes before I could get to it. I had, let's see, 1, 2, I think I had 6 servos because I had flaps. I had 6 servos on the bottom portion of the fuse, meaning that when it was in the water, they were all submerged. And I had 1 small digital high-tech, high-speed digital high-tech for the throttle. And it was setting up real high on the top of the fuse. If at best it got splashed. After I got the plane and drained all the fish and the water and the mud and everything out and put it back together, I was really reluctant that the servos were even going to work. Every single servo worked except for the high-tech. Now, high-tech makes very good servos, don't get me wrong. The problem is that the cost on some of these servos are getting so great, it just doesn't make good dollar to fund ratio sense. You know, skimp on servos, we end up pile of ball styrofoam in the ground. What I do with these though is I'll take a servo tester, the one that'll do the automatic sweep, you know, or you can do manual, and I'll hook it up to a battery, and I'll hang it off the side of the table with the amount of weight that it says it will take. And in this particular case, for this, let's say $20 servo, what are we looking at here in the torque? 20 kilograms. Now, let's see here. 20 kilograms to ounce. $705 ounces, which that's probably way overrated. Wouldn't you agree? But what I'll do is, in the 13s, I would take about 400 or 500 ounces and hang off of them, and I'd let it run for 30 minutes, and then run over there and kind of lean on it every once in a while. I've taken them apart. Bruce from RC Model Reviews was the one that got me, investigating the insides of things. I've taken them apart. The motors are of high quality. The boards, the electronic, the soldering, everything looks good in them. I've never really seen a cold solder joint in 15 or 20 of these that I've taken apart. And this is the low-end servo from this company. So it's just something, like I said, I don't make any money off of these. I still pay full retail when I buy these. I do buy direct from them, but I still pay full retail and shipping. And I'm getting nothing for making this video. This is strictly for to make the point that you can fly on a budget, and there's ways to do it. This is their little micro servo. I've never used one of these. I don't know anything about it. Never tried it. Let's see the numbers on this if I can find it real quick. So this is 5.75 grams in weight, and it's 22 millimeter by 8.5 millimeter by 27 millimeters. And supply voltage at 6 volt max, and let's see here, stall torque 1.6 kilograms, 1.6 kilograms to ounces, and they're saying this is 56 ounce servo. And where's the speed? The speed is just ridiculous at 0.07 at 60 degrees. So little 3D planes, man, I tell you what, this thing will be a beast on. Now, I'll get back and let you know after I've tried them. I can't tell you how many of the cheap Hobby King servos, the little $4 or $5 servos when I was building foamies back in the day when I was getting back into the hobby, that I had bought, and how many planes I had lost behind them. And the same thing with the little Hi-Tech 55 plastic gears. They're great servos until you bump it, something going, one of the control surfaces coming in and out of the car, going in and out of the shop, and it strips the gear. And with the metal gears, I've never had one strip due to a bump. But really, the reason I made this video is because we're talking about something a lot larger and a lot more money. So this is a tail feather off of an S-Bach I just purchased for myself. And it's an old used plane, but I got a great deal on it. And right now it's got some Tower Pro MG 996R. I don't really know much about these. I know that these were Metal Gear digital servos that were supposed to be real strong, but the problem was is everybody started cloning them, and you never could tell which one were the right ones. And because of it, you would find a lot that would fail on the plane. So, but if you look at this here, if you take this this control surface, and you held it in your hand, and you start doing 50 miles an hour in your car, roll down the window and stick it out the window, and put a little bit of an angle on it, it's going to rip your wrist off. Even more so when you're talking about an aileron. So you really got to have that big, strong, direct power when you're building a larger plane. People think they can throw a Futaba 3003 in an 80-inch Warbird or a 75 to 90-inch 3D plane, and you're mistaken. You're going to lose all the money that you've got invested in it. But let's stop what we're all this rambling and take a look at what we get when we open this thing up. It comes in a real nice little metal box, which I'm not really an open box guy. It's got some stickers. It's got a little card with all the information that we just went over. This is a digital servo as well, and this is the warranty card, I guess, so you can fill it out. I've never gone through that step. You get a little hardware pack that's got everything. And this is also going to be a plastic and aluminum. Now, the aluminum casing acts for a positive in a couple of ways, but the biggest one is it dissipates heat. And just holding and feeling this thing, man, it feels of high quality like a Swiss watch would versus a Timex. For around $60, which that's going to be about half or less than half a high-tech would cost, or Servos or one of those other companies. And we run into this all the time where a company will come out, they start off young and the prices are all real good, but as they get popular, the prices are going to start to go up. I don't know if that's going to happen with this outfit here. Hopefully not. Hopefully, if you've got any questions about anything, shoot me a line, man, and I'll be more than glad to speak with you on it. That's all I got for today, and maybe we'll come back and try to show you some other ways to fly on a budget.